Yeah, I was gonna say you guys can sit because it's gonna take a while. And I love to hear my voice, but I am very, very nervous. And Luke told me to eat the microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to do that. This is my testimony, my story. I did not grow up in a Christian household. We put a lot of importance on sports and things like that. We were, very, very sporty family. And then I came here to Winona State in fall of 2020, and
Here, Kinsey, do you want to grab me the other mic? This is not on you. This is on the microphone. It just pops out of place. Try two.
thanks. So not a Christian household. I came here to Winona State in 2020.
I don't know. Here, you can come stand in this one.
Wow, I have never been in this position before. So not a Christian household, came here to Winona State, and I really wanted to have the college experience. You know, all the partying, all the drinking, boys, whatever. And then so I went by that whole year, got into some trouble and needed some volunteer hours, and the first place I thought of was church. So every Sunday I would volunteer. I'd be at church for 4 or 5 hours, and that was the best summer of my entire life. And I knew that I needed to change my ways, and I didn't when I came back to college. Fell into my same patterns, sexual sin, very big part of my life. Not proud of it, but it is what got me here, and I, in a way, don't regret it. So that fall, my friend invited me to Passion in 2021, 2022 in Atlanta, and we went there, and it was so amazing. I totally recommend. I'm gonna try to go again, but just tens of thousands of people our age, just on fire for Jesus, and it is exactly what heaven sounded like. So I came back, decided I was gonna change, and I did, but for a few days. And then the weekend came, and the same habits I fell into. And then that next week, it was a Thursday morning, I was walking to my math class, and I was hit by a car in the crosswalk. Don't really remember that entire week or what I even did the weekend before. I was rushed to Winona Health, airlifted to Gunderson, and I had a broken clavicle, tibia, fibula on my right side, several skull fractures, traumatic brain injury. So I spent about a month in the hospital doing physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. And I continued all the therapy for 8 months. Couldn't drive. So 6 weeks after I had my post-op appointment with my neurosurgeon, Dr. Davis, he's a G. And in that room, he was explaining the way a scalp flap procedure usually goes. They cut me ear to ear, but they usually have to make a few other cuts to cut out the entire skull and take it over the table and put it back together. But there was a piece wedged under. I had a depressed fracture pressing on that major vein in my brain. And he said when he was going to lift that up, him and his team were prepared for me to bleed out in seconds, and they wouldn't have been able to do anything about it. But he said when he lifted that up, all the fractures, all the pieces that were kind of out of place, it just clicked back together like a puzzle. And he said he's never seen anything like that happen ever in an operating room, and he was at a loss for words for what happened, and told me basically a lot of doctors don't like to bring God or faith into the situation, but he said that he admitted those weren't his hands. Something else was inside that room, and he told me to find my purpose and find out why I'm still here. During that, so I had 68 staples ear to ear, and during that appointment, it all became so real to me of like, wow, I'm here. So jumping back, 3 days after skull surgery, I was unable to see because my eyes were still so swollen, unable to move my right side because it was broken, unable to move my left side because it was temporarily paralyzed. So, I'm not gonna lie when I say this, I felt like a complete vegetable. I felt so useless, but I was hopped up on so many drugs. But the one memory that I have and continue to go back to during that month in the hospital is when I couldn't see, when I couldn't move, I felt just an overwhelming yet calming presence of something bigger than myself, something bigger than all the doctors and my family, and I knew it was the presence of God. I felt him, almost seeing him reaching out his arms to me, touching me, and he felt like a big, huge giant just hovering over my bed, telling me that I'm gonna be okay. And ever since then, that day, January 23rd of 2022, I said yes to God. And I said, if you can literally save my life like that, I can sacrifice some of my habits and some of my old ways to live a life that will bring you glory. So since then, I spent that entire year alone. My days looked like therapy and sleep. Everybody was complaining about school, homework, work, whatever. I wish that I could have been complaining about school, but instead I was relearning how to walk, how to talk, type, all the simple little things. And I spent a lot of time alone. My friends kind of forgot about me, I felt like. And so I spent a lot of time in prayer. I didn't really know how to read my Bible yet, since I was so new. a lot of time in prayer. And I have been hating Winona ever since that, but I kept praying. These are where all my friends are. I feel like I should come here. And my mom and I talked about it a lot, and one day I just decided I'm going to move back. And my friends, by the grace of God, had a room open, so I decided to move here. And then I asked one of my friends, what church do you go to? She brought me here, and we all got involved, and I met two of my best friends. Kind of cheesy, but we call each other soul sisters. And they have brought me closer to God. This whole entire community I've never had a community like this before. I've done so much growing here, and I know that they only want the best for me, and they're doing the best they can to lead me and guide me in my faith. And sometimes I feel like I've told people this before. I feel like a deer in the headlights because I am so new to faith, and I am a VG leader here with Luke. And I don't know much of the Bible. I don't know much of anything, but all I know is my testimony, and that's what's getting me through right now. He's a faithful God, and he will bring you through the most dark, lonely, and painful times. And in the end, you may not see it now, but everything works out for its good. Thank you.